When Martin Luther King was marching on Washington, you know what he was thinking? He was saying, I have a dream! I have a dream that black, white, gay, straight, hedge fund, homeless, crackhead can all be on the New York City subway. That's what he had a dream. He had a dream, and that was what he believed in America. For some odd reason, he was prophetic. He was prophesying. He was a fortune teller. He was able to look into the future. He was able to see that the New York City subway would fulfill his dream. And he was able to wake up. That is what Martin Luther King marched on Washington for. It was for more than civil rights. It's so that when you go on the subway, you see all walks of life, all colors, all creeds, all religions. The American way. The New York City subway is beautiful. Imagine spending hundreds of billions of dollars. Imagine spending billions and billions and billions of dollars and getting one of the most disgusting, inefficient, corrupt systems there is out there. Every so often, every year I read an article of somebody collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars in overtime pay when they're just twiddling their thumbs in a back room. It's beautiful. I wouldn't have it any other way. If you've never been on the New York City subway, consider yourself blessed. Martin Luther King would be very disappointed in you, but consider yourself blessed. Consider yourself blessed that you just haven't gotten yelled at, because even though you're a paycheck away from homelessness, you gotta also help other people out. Consider yourself blessed that you don't know the smell of urine after a long day of work and someone just couldn't help themselves. Consider yourself blessed that you had a night out with your friends and then you just see somebody sleeping, just full on, the man couldn't make rent payments, so he's just sleeping. Consider yourself blessed when you just got off your flight and you're trying to get back to your place and you see somebody just downing a bottle of Bacardi and there's just nothing, that's just the way you live your life. You down bottles of Bacardi in the subway. I remember last week, or actually this was this week, I remember I was just doing my thing, and mind you, it smells like the New York City subway. I wish I had the coronavirus because it smells so bad. It smells, all the worst parts of New York, all the pee, weed, homelessness, BO. There needs to be, honestly, if you want to make $1 billion deodorant, make a deodorant that can neutralize the smell of the New York City subway. Because I don't know how people eat on the subway. I remember I saw a boy eat a brownie. There must have been weed in that brownie or something. Honestly, there must have been. There must have been something in that brownie. I see a boy eating a brownie like he's not smelling the most disgusting thing I've ever smelled before. And I study computer science. People don't even shower. And I would take an intro to computer science lecture any day of the week than the New York City subway. I remember 2 days ago when I was there, I saw a man just eat a full-on burrito. What? How did he not puke? That's how honestly, these people, I don't understand their psychology. There's something wrong with them, but they do it anyways. They eat on the subway. This New York City subway is falling apart. Typically, in other countries, the tube, even Russia, I don't know how, but Russia is dubbing us when it comes to the subway. Their subway looks so much better than ours. But then when you come to America and you take the New York City subway, it's brown, it's falling apart, it's decrepit. I'm surprised it's still standing. And I know for a fact, 30, 40, 50, I know for a fact in the long-term future, they're just patching it together. They're not fixing it, they're just patching it. Because it is the biggest joke of bureaucracy I have ever seen. The New York City subway is dirty, delayed, and it's not an experience that you want to be a part of. And I guarantee you, not I guarantee you, I know that ridership is down pre-pandemic. People gave up on this thing. People hop, you know what's crazy? Instead of fixing the problem of people not paying for the subway, New York City just created spikes. There's just spikes. So instead of hopping the subway, so when you try to hop it, there's just spikes to hit your hand. The fact that this is a pinnacle of public transportation in the United States should show you how much of a joke of a country this is. And I don't know what it's gonna take. Honestly, just pray for some kind of hurricane, pray for a waterbender. I think it takes a waterbender to come in and clean the New York City subway. And it's weird because the New York City subway was what exposed me to different cultures, different ways of life. I've heard Russian, I've heard Hindi, I've heard obvious, you can't escape Spanish in America. This is America, come on, this is a Spanish country. We don't speak English here, we speak Spanish. I've heard Arabic, I've heard Farsi, I've heard Italian, French. I've heard so many beautiful languages. I've seen people try to carry a whole couch into the subway. You know, you see all these things, and then you realize just how decrepit it is. And it's almost, you can't just help but feel sorry because the New York City subway is just a core part of New York. You can't talk about New York without talking about taking the subway. But when you're taking the subway, you also can't help but feel a bit of sadness because it's not this experience, you know. It's not, people are on their phones. People are disengaged. You're just trying to get from point A to point B. You're not really thinking of the state of the world. You're just transisting from one place to another. The New York City subway could be so much more. And it could do so much. It could be a model for other parts in America. But like America, since we don't know how to do public transportation, we just do things halfway. We don't even try to do anything. I don't know why, I don't know what it's gonna take to improve the New York City subway. Or maybe just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Just, you know, Martin Luther King said his dream is over. It's over, you know, civil rights legislation got passed. Because when I go to New York, I don't get excited to go on the subway. It's just a means to an end. It's just getting from one place to another. And I don't know what people are gonna, I don't know what New Yorkers even feel about the subway. Because I'm not a New Yorker. Your boy's 1,200 miles away. I would rather be a New Yorker than a Dallasite, but sometimes you don't have a say in where you end up in life. You don't get to pick your neighborhood. Your parents do. I just wonder if they have pride in this thing, because I think as an American, this is just something we could do better. We can legitimately do better, and we are better than this. But it's gonna take people writing, and it's not a monetary issue. It's a spirit issue. People don't, because you have to take pride. It's gonna take more than just throwing hundreds of billions of dollars. Money doesn't solve all your problems. Well, it will solve all my problems, but it doesn't solve the New York City subway's problems. And I think New Yorkers really need to reevaluate what they're doing. And I know the average New Yorker doesn't have much of a say. I get it. I completely understand. Trust me, I would love for the tollway not to be as expensive in Dallas, but for some odd reason our politicians sold out to a private company, so we gotta pay to use a road. So I understand the frustration of wanting to fix something but just having no power. It's all that's kind of what makes New York New York, is the walking, is the subway, is the public transportation, and they should keep that. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. My socials will be linked down below and at the end of this video. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.